It's time to go beyond the headlines, cause I don't put in overtime just so I can headline. Okay, now it's Fox Sports, I'm live with Renee. Going hard every day, sports rapping every play. Different segments for your favorites, coming at you daily. With positive vibes, yeah, we some game changers. Basketball, football, soccer, with different interviews, you never know who may pop up. Listen, only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Headlines. I'm your host, Renee Washington, and I am so excited to bring you this week's episode because joining us from a very busy schedule, I should say, whether he's in Miami, in New York, he's always creating some incredible music. It is Kidear Yeoman's going to be joining the show. And then also we've got Jemiah Kyle, part of the Beyond the Headlines team, who's going to be joining us for a sports update later on this episode. So we've got sports updates, we've got new music coming your way, and I hope that you are excited to check it out this week as we get into our Artist Spotlight.
What's up, it's Microphone Rocky, and here's our host, Renee Washington, with the Artist Spotlight.
Kidear, it is so great to have you here. I'm excited to get to know more about who we are who's been referred to as hip-hop's gay Hugh Hefner. The talent, the musician, the artist, the incredible Brooklyn, New York native that's also down in South Beach. Welcome.
Hey.
I am so happy to have you here. How have you been? Looking fabulous. And I was telling for everybody watching before the show even started, I was saying, I'm underdressed on my own show. Kidear came in here looking lit with these fabulous glasses, leather jacket. It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. It's always got to be a vibe. You got to create a vibe. When you're as pretty as yourself, though, you can come in a t-shirt and look great. So you're fine.
Oh, thanks. Say less. I'm just no, but something that I want to get into. First of all, not only are you bringing the vibes, we're gonna take it a step further. I came in with my little mug of juice, my little boss lady mug, and Kidear's got. What are you drinking?
A glass of Riesling, a full glass.
That's my wine. That's my wine. If I'm going light, it's got to be either a Pinot, a Riesling. That's it right there.
Yeah.
A nice white wine. Yes, I love it. I love it. So I gotta first ask before we even dive into all the incredible things you have going on, your new music, what you're doing. Where does hip hop's gay Hugh Hefner come from? I'm so curious.
Okay.
Explain, please.
Okay. So I got the name. It's because I'm literally always surrounded by beautiful women. So like my whole team, my camp, most of my friends are all women that are beautiful and doing big things and great. So when people see me, they always see me with a whole bunch of bad bitches. So they just like, oh, this is the gay Hugh Hefner. Like, he's lit. He always got some lit girls with him. It's a vibe.
I love that. Okay, that makes way more sense. Because I'm like, where does Hugh come into all this? But it's the fact that you keep yourself surrounded by queens.
Right. Right.
And that you are doing incredible things. Okay, I love that. So embracing this vibe that you bring, what is it about you? I'm gonna jump right into your music. What is it about you that really separates you? What is it that is the vibe that you try to bring as Kidear that separates you from other artists, that whether it's the sound, the lyrics, whatever it is, that people know this is your music that you're putting out?
So the music that I'm creating now, it's all bops. So I'm like the vibe king. I want to turn up. I want to have fun. So when you hear my music, it's definitely that. Also, the gay Hugh Hefner leads into my music because most of my music is basically targeting like women, like, oh, like you're lit, you're doing this, and it's a vibe. You guys are around, you're beautiful. Like, so most of my music targets that. But I think what sets me aside is I think the beats are super turned. The lyrics are fun and playful. I give you kind of like a masculine, feminine kind of energy on the record. So they're kind of like cool because I am gay, but I'm like making it so that the girls are like, yes. And the boys is bopping like, okay.
And I like that because it's music that's for any and everybody. You know,
Yeah,
everybody wants to just hear good music that you can
just good
dance
music.
to, that
Yep.
you don't, it doesn't matter what's going on in your life, that you
Mm-hmm.
can get with your friends or even by yourself. It could be that one man car party or whatever it is, and just listen and dance and sing and have fun.
That's what I'm trying to create.
I love that. I love that. And so, you know, as you're looking at just the music that you're putting out and what it's all about, I want to first get into your song "Bitches Is Lit."
Mm.
Because I just need context. I just need
Okay.
to know why that name,
Okay.
because I love it. It's like there's no holding back. You know what you're gonna get when you listen to this.
Right. Right.
So tell us about it.
Okay, so the single again, that the first single off the EP, because it's gonna be an EP, but that was basically like the introduction, so people understood, like, oh, maybe why do they call him a gay Hugh Hefner? Okay, you listen to the song, you might kind of get a vibe, especially if you see the video, you probably really get a good outlook on the song. So basically, I'm pretty much in the song just vibing out, explaining why my bitches are lit, like. I don't know. It could be their looks. It could be the swag. It could be the vibe that they bring. The song is literally just describing why my bitches is lit, turning up and making music, bobbing.
Okay. So I do see the consistency there when you talk about being a gay Hugh Hefner, and
Yeah.
then your song "Bitches Be
Uh-huh.
Lit." Just keeping with that theme of like, okay, I'm surrounding myself with incredible people. I'm surrounding myself
Mm-hmm.
with queens. The
Mm-hmm.
vibe, this is the vibe.
That's the
So
vibe.
this is the first song that you released on your EP. Tell us about even the process of creating it. It is I know for me when I put anything out with my name, my face on it, it is so hard to let go. I'm like, it's gotta be perfect. It's
It
not
got to
ready
be.
yet.
No, I know. Man, I was going through it because it was the first song, the only song out. And I'm like, I want to make sure the sound is lit, the beat is lit, everything. So, how it went down, I went in the studio with my producer, Brooks. Shout out to Brooks, amazing producer. And we were just talking, like, okay, what do you want the song to be? Like, what do you, I said, I want to talk about stuff that I know. Like, I want to talk about being surrounded by pretty girls and us vibing and shutting the club down. So we just came up with the title "Bitches Is Lit," and I just started writing, and we came up with a beat, and then it was a vibe. It was like, okay, hook, verse, let's get it. It's out.
Yes. So as you're releasing this song, you know, tell us about kind of the feedback you've been getting and just the way that people have been picking up on this song. Because again, this is your baby. This is your
Right.
firstborn. You put this out there and you're getting the love and the support from your fans and your audience is growing. So let's first start with just taking a look at the way that people have been embracing this song and just loving it.
Yeah, it's definitely like, okay, so when you do something and you create something, you're creating it hoping that when you put it out, people will just appreciate it in any type of way. Whether they like, I'm going to give you feedback, whether it's good, or I'm going to give you feedback, whether it's bad, whatever. You just hoping people take the time out to listen to it because there's a billion artists. So with people hitting me up and they knowing the words, and we did a little TikTok dance and people were participating, I don't know. It's still surreal to me a little bit. It's definitely a little surreal, but I'm super grateful.
I love that. And congratulations. I'm excited for you because this is
Thanks.
the first of many, of
Yes.
course. So
Yes,
video
definitely.
snaps. But even as you are working to, you know, putting out music is one thing, then putting out a vision for it in terms of even like the video and
Yeah.
the visuals that you want to have with that. What was that design process and that creative process of just kind of piecing it together to now bring that same energy and bring that same excitement and vibe and bop as you're putting it together for a video?
Yeah, so when it was time to shoot a video, I definitely wanted a video that spoke to the song. So I wanted to keep it kind of simple, but then I just still wanted to make it like fun, club vibey. So we was just searching for venues that kind of when we walked in, it was like, oh yeah, this is giving me like a vibe. It's lit. Like so when we seen the studio with like lights and it gave camera action, I was like, okay, now we just gotta include all the girls and we're gonna have a little dance scene and we just gonna like really just have fun and turn up. So when I did the video, that's what the most important part was to me was making sure that it spoke to the song.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now share with us about this video of you being like Ken doll. And just I mean, I feel like that's also the fun of this is when you create a video,
Yeah.
it gets to have the look you want for yourself.
Yeah.
Like now you're in the driver's seat. Forget social media and everything else, what people try to make you out to be. You get to paint yourself in a picture of whatever you want it to be. So
Yes.
I love that. As I was looking at it, this is what I was watching. I was like, okay, this is, you're the real deal. But just for those that haven't had a chance to see it yet, take us through just like the thought process of creating this video where you get to show yourself as, I am Kidear, and this is what
Right.
you're gonna get, and I'm fantastic, and so is everybody around me in this vibe of a Ken like music video that you brought us.
Yeah, so it was so cool. So when I wanted to do visuals for the single, I was like, I want to be turned into a Ken doll. I don't know, I just want to give them like a moment of me looking like, a Barbie, just playing off of everything that, being gay. So like a spin off of female Barbies Ken. So like, being put together in plastic. So I was like, throw me in a box, make me into a Ken doll, and we gonna vibe out. And then I wanted the video to kind of still give like the colors of like a Ken doll. Like I wore pink, I wore orange. So I kind of turned it up a little bit with the fashion, but I still kept it like cool. And then I put girls in there. We just got lit. We were drunk on set. We were dancing. It was like, it was just turned. It was a whole vibe. Some of my closest friends made it out to the video. My best friend and publicist manager was there, Marie. So we had fun. Shout out to everybody that was in the video, actually, because I love y'all. The video would have been trash, just me by myself. Y'all killed it.
I love that because that's what it is all about. First of all, I always wonder, are you really drunk? Are you not really, are you?
Right. No, we were
Nope,
turned. The
y'all were
heavy seat was
lit.
on set, so we were like, we were definitely feeling it. It was no wine that night. It was straight cognac. Okay.
Hey, okay. I'm in the wrong industry, clearly. Because we don't get drunk on our sets, at least not supposed to. But right. But that is, as you talk about, even just the people that are around you in that video specifically that
Yeah.
made that possible. You have been throughout the course of this, and we were just getting started. You've really been talking about a lot of the people around you, Brooks, Marie, that have been so supportive. Talk about the village that has helped you be able to just step into the spotlight and be able to be as successful as you are already. To have so many people around you that you trust, that support you, that are rooting for you, that are promoting you. I mean, I even seen in the comments alone, we're seeing hearts and fire emojis. That love and that support is like oozing out of you. And I love that because it's hard to do this, anything by yourself. Yet you have people that I can tell are rooting for you, are in your corner, are pushing you, are promoting you. So share a little bit about that as an artist on the climb of being able to have these great people that are also supporting you along the way.
Yeah, when I hear artists say like they did it by themselves, I'm like, I don't get how you could have done all this alone. Because I know with just one single out, I can't even manage all of this by myself. So yeah, I do have an amazing team, Playbook, MG. We got everybody from Marie, John, Sarah, Bianca on the squad, really helping to kind of push. We just sit down, we brainstorm, we group text, and I just kind of tell them when I'm on. They tell me what I should be doing. Like it's like a group effort, and it doesn't stop there. Like my friends are a big support, my family are a big support. Like I don't know if you see my Instagram, they're always like reposting and like everybody, my little sister, my cousins, like I don't know, it's just a vibe. I think keeping good people that are supportive around you is amazing. Like the support is real. And then other people see that and they see it's genuine and they start jumping on. I was like, well, why she always posting him? Let me go check it out. And then they run the numbers up and we start getting lit out here. That's the goal.
Yes. And it does say a lot. I mean, when you talk about having that support, having people in your corner, having people that are helping, even if it's just sharing and retweeting and supporting you, that goes such a long way
Goes
to
such a
be able
long
to
way.
know that you trust these people. They're going to help promote all the great things you've got going on. So I love that. I'm gonna guess Aaliyah is my lucky guess. If I was a psychic, I'm gonna guess Aaliyah is possibly sis.
Yes. You see?
Yes.
Hey, sister.
But that says a lot. I mean, I know that we had Marie on the show. Gosh, that may have been about a year ago now, talking about Playbook and talking about this vision of being able to support artists and how you can be around people that are not only going to support you, but also knowledgeable. This is, as you know, as you're climbing, this industry is not easy. There is no, I'm going to use a play on words here, but there is no playbook for it. There's no easy road. So to have people that are, I had to do it, that are knowledgeable, that are supporting you, that have experience, that have connections, that says a lot too. So you had your video came out, you had your release party. You did mention that you had to push, you had to push the music back because you want to make sure things are ready. But tell us kind of like what the process has been for you as you've been able to start putting this vision into reality, around Bitches is Lit, around the video. Like, what have you been working on, especially since the pandemic for a lot of musicians, I feel like helped catapult their career more than ever?
Yeah, it definitely did. I know during the pandemic, I was able to take time out and be like, okay, I can literally focus, write, go in the studio. I wanted to definitely be in New York while I was working on the EP because I'm born and raised in New York. So I kind of wanted to give it like a New York swag, but then I was playing with different instruments with the producer to kind of filter it. So you can kind of hear a little bit of like, I don't know, Caribbean. You get a little bit of mixture of the EP on there, but I definitely wanted to be in New York. I wanted to be in Brooklyn so I can make sure that I'm giving the swag that it needed. But it's been cool. It's definitely been cool. I definitely pushed some music back because I went back in the studio and was just playing around, and then the sound just ended up being so dope that we like, oh, maybe we got to add these in. So right now the team is just really kind of finalizing what song should be on the EP. Once that's finalized, we're hoping for the end of next month, the whole EP will be done. We'll have an EP release party, a new single, and then we'll be back to the hustle of pushing it.
Yes. Now, something that also I want to ask you about is how you try to focus on club bangers. Like that's your genre, that's your vibe.
Yeah.
I think that in itself of being a lit artist and being someone that's bringing these songs that are a bop, that everybody can dance to, that feel good music, is very specific. There's a lot of people out here singing about love and drugs and their upbringing and whatever other like traumas, but you went with the feel good side. What is it that you try? Why? I'm actually take a step back. What made you want to make club bangers versus making other types of genres of music?
Okay, so I like to be outside. So during the pandemic,
oh boy,
we were not outside.
No.
But the funny part is, like, Miami was never closed. So I was still somewhere outside. So when I wanted to do music, I was like, okay, I'm looking towards the future of us getting back to being outside, feeling good, wanting to dance, wanting to mingle with people and just be like in a space vibing. So I already knew it was like a no-brainer for me to be like, when I'm in the studio, like they were playing slow beats, I'm like, get out of here with that. I'm like, I need everything to be like a bop. I'm trying to dance the whole way through the whole EP. I slow it down like maybe on 2 tracks, but it's still like boom, boom. So you still gonna bop to it. But everything I'm trying to do is definitely feel good, club bangers, make you want to dance, get up out your seat type of music. Okay. Love is great. All the hardships in life, it's amazing. Talk about the struggle. But where I am right now is like a piece of positivity, living life to the fullest, enjoying every moment, because as we seen 2 years ago, it could be taken away so quick. So I'm like, we need to feel good. That's all I'm focusing on.
So then a part of this is kind of just aligning with where you are right now in life.
Yeah.
Like obviously as a world, we've been in this place, as you mentioned, where we've been forced to kind of be more grateful about what we have going on and taking advantage of every day. But as you mentioned, you're also in a space, and it sounds like in your life, and I could be wrong, but from what I know from the long 30 minutes we've known each other, It definitely seems like you're in this peaceful space where you're literally living your best life. So is
Yeah,
that kind of also the inspiration behind why, instead of being caught up in your feelings and caught up in like the woe is me and let me sing my heart out and all these in every song of like, this is the mood. This is my mood all day, every day. And this is the music I'm gonna bring to other people too.
definitely. I think it probably would have been super easy for me to go in the studio and make music that was like, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about. It was a hard 2 years. I went through a hell of a lot in the last 2 years, but I knew that after getting out of that place that I was in, it was just like more so of me just trying to live my best life. And every time you hear one of Kidear Yeoman's songs, I want you to be like, oh yeah, I feel he living his best life. I want to live my best life too. Like, especially some of the tracks for the females, I'm so trying to get y'all to be like, you're bad, you're beautiful, doesn't matter what anybody else is saying. Like, sis, do you, all the queens live up to the name and just fucking be lit, period.
Okay. So I have to know then what got you here. And look, we don't have to go through every day. I don't need to know every tier. I don't need to know every detail. But to me, like something that I always tell people when they always ask me personally, like, how are you so inspirational and so positive and so upbeat? I'm like, because there's a time that I wasn't. You
Right.
know, there was a time that I struggled. There was a time where days weren't so easy and things weren't so easy and I wasn't so happy. So now I can appreciate being happy, living my best life, doing all these great things because I knew where I was. So,
Yeah.
you know, who is Kidear Yeomans? Who are you beyond just your music that has influenced you to be to this point where you are able to now uplift others around you? Because it's one thing to uplift yourself. It's another thing to be able to also carry that positivity and spread that to other people, that whether it's through your music, through your social media, again, through the love that I'm feeling through all your fans and your friends and your family, to also bring that too.
I think me finding peace within myself. So me being able to block out everyone else's opinions and thoughts and just hear my own. So while I was in Miami, like I used to be like, I don't know, sitting on the balcony writing, journaling, being on the beach, writing, journaling just with myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like when you really just get time for yourself and you space everything out, like you can just hear your clear thoughts and you just do things that you want to do, whether it's win or lose, but you chose to do it. And once I started
Mm.
doing that, it kind of led me into this place where I am now, where I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just really fucking happy. Like, so it goes into the music. So it's just like, yeah, it was definitely, I had some hardships, but I think me getting in one with myself put me in the
Mm.
place where I am.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I love that because it sounds like you took that time. Now, granted, you did it in Miami, so I'm not
Okay.
okay. Like, let's just put that out there because I heard you just casually dropped it in there. Like, I was figuring myself out in South Beach, on the beach, journaling. I'm like,
Okay.
I'm journaling in my room. So even being able to take some time, like, not only were you mentally taking that time to think things through, but also physically taking that time to put yourself in a better space,
Hmm.
probably a little bit less stress if I can
Yeah.
imagine. And be able to listen to the waves and be on the beach with the sand between
Hmm.
your toes, like
Right.
sipping on a drink, like that in
Right.
itself is something that's not easy to do, to remove yourself from whatever is blocking you to be able to like be your best self.
Yeah.
So what made you even get to the point of realizing like, okay, I have to do this for myself and not just my career, but to be happy. I need to take this time for myself to figure out whether it's through journaling, whether it's just through finding that piece of my purpose, my inspiration to be a better me.
I feel like I was just going through a lot of emotions of leaning on others and relying
Mm,
on others' opinions to validate what I was doing. It didn't have to be like the outside, but like people close to me. I felt like I was
mm,
starting to not move the way I wanted to ideally move. And that was in itself getting me into a place where I was a little unhappy. So I was like, okay, we gotta pedal back some, and you got to start finding your own voice, your own thoughts, and really just focusing on what you want it is, what you want to do, whatever it is. If you want to do music, if you want to go jump out of a plane. If you, I don't know, whatever it is that you want to do, as long as it's you saying that I want to do this and not really worrying about someone else's opinion on what you want to do and just going for it. So I was like, yeah, I needed that.
I love that like I love these gems that you're dropping of like, because you're sharing it in relation to your own life, but it's
Right.
very relatable to many others of just instead of worrying about all the outside noise, like finding a way to quiet the noise.
Yeah.
Be by yourself. Like I always tell people, it starts with you loving
Yeah.
yourself, knowing yourself, understanding like what makes you tick, what makes you excited, what makes you upset, what motivates you to be able to focus on being a better you. So now you can make these club bangers. I mean, for you, it's music, but whatever your job is, to be able to live through that to help reach other people.
Yeah.
So now you're able to make these club bangers because you've taken that time for yourself.
For yourself, yeah.
Oh, I love
Definitely.
that. I love
Even
that.
in the studio, there's no huge entourage, like, because I don't want you trying to distract me or tell me, oh, this, it would be better like this. No, like, what? No, I'm in there trying to get it done, and I'm trying to hear my own sound, create my own sound without anybody else telling me what my sound should sound like. So in the studio, it's very much, you probably see 2-3 people the most besides the producer, and they're in there basically supporting, probably recording, but nobody's like, nah, don't do that, don't say that. It's very much like, let me go in there, let me do my thing, we can chill, we can vibe to the beats, the music, and then that's it. It's very much like it's really my music. Like, I write my own music, produce with the producer, like I come up with the tracks and he makes the beat to go to the song. So it's really like me speaking.
Yeah. So there's one chef in the kitchen, one cook. That is it.
There's
Not
one
too,
chef in the
you don't have too
kitchen.
many hands, and
I don't want too many pans, not in this pot.
no. And I think that is something that, as you're talking about, one of your best strengths is the ability to be able to like separate, because you have a big support system. It seems like you've got a village, but you also have boundaries, and okay, with my family, with my friends, with my everybody that is around me that's helping to promote and support me, there's levels to it. When it comes to my grind and who I am as an artist, I had the final say. Like, I love that. Like, it's kind of like, okay, y'all can be here with me, and I don't need to have 30-40 people in the studio with me to feel the love. It could be a few people, but even for those few people, love me, support me, but let me do my thing. Instead of
even
taking
with the
the outside
EP,
noise.
there's no features on the EP. Meanwhile, I could have, because I'm very close friends with a lot of rappers that are lit, huge followings, a lot of close friends that would be like, yeah, I'm gonna jump on the track. Like I did do a couple tracks with some lit artists, and I was just like, I want my introduction to be me. I want it to be like, okay, we got it. It's Kidear. Let's hear his sound, because even when you put somebody on your feature, their sound is on it, so it takes away from yours. So I was like, okay, I want every track to be like, okay, yeah, this is Kidear. Okay, we know Kidear. The next EP, oh, we're gonna be having features on features. But the first one, nah, y'all gonna understand me. You're gonna get all of this.
Yes, it's your first one. It should be you. It should promote you. And and I think that as you're even talking through about being able to give people a sense of who you are as an artist and understand your sound, your vibe, your kind of what they're gonna get from you. So now when they hear you with those big name artists, we're like, oh, okay, I already know what you're gonna bring. I already know what you're gonna bring, and I need to listen to this.
Yes, that's what we're aiming for.
So something that I definitely want to ask you about is, as you mentioned, being a part of the LGBTQ community and being in this space where you're trying to show that, yes, I represent as a gay artist.
Yeah,
I may represent this box, but I'm more than that. And I always tell people, for me, it's as a Black woman working in sports, which is I'm usually a double minority, not around a lot of other Black people, not around any other women. I don't want to be, thank you, I don't want to be pigeonholed and kind of boxed in as just that.
Yeah.
So for you, what are the ways that you try to, like, of course you stay grounded to who you are, but also understand that you're more than that. You want to stand out and be seen as an artist that's more than just a gay artist, just representing the LGBTQ community.
I think when I'm writing, I think most of that comes out when I'm writing. So when I'm writing songs, I'm not intentionally not using certain words, but my pronouns, I'm just leaving it open to you to kind of interpretate whatever you want. So it's not specific with he, she. It could be they. So I'm just having to play on words so you don't have to sit there and be like, every single song, we get it, you're gay. We know. Like, okay, you don't gotta rap about being gay on every track. So when I'm making music, I'm just speaking. Like I'm not in the zone of let me make sure I go hard for people to understand that I'm gay. Let me make sure I go hard for people to question that I'm not. I'm just there doing my thing. Whatever sounds good to me, I'm pushing. Whatever sounds good to me, I'm writing it. And I feel like that's how it's gonna be. Like I'm not an extremely feminine guy. So on my music, I don't sound extremely feminine. So you might hear it and just be like, wait, what? Okay, this is just a bop. It's fire. Or you
Right.
might hear it and know, like, okay, like, yeah, he's giving a little, on it. So I definitely want to keep it there. Like, I'm super proud to be in the LGBTQ. We got the whole alphabet now. So, but
Yes.
that is not it doesn't define me. Like, yeah, it's definitely a big part, but it's so much more layers to that.
I
Think
forgot
of
the
me.
plus because that is part of it too. LGBTQ plus community.
Right.
Let me get that right. I don't want people coming at me
You gotta
now.
get that right.
Okay, I'm
We
sorry.
hard out
I'm
here.
sorry. But what I what I also like about what you're sharing is actually you remind me a lot of Sam Smith. Like when Sam Smith's music was coming out, like you knew Sam Smith was gay,
Right.
but I'm like, this is relatable for me. It's relatable for anybody,
Right.
and being able to and that's what you think about the best artists, whether it's rappers, singers, whatever. The best artists, in my opinion, have the ability to really cross over different types of lanes. Like you
Yeah.
can connect with any and everybody. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, whatever however you identify yourself. None of that matters because if you like music, if you like dancing, if you like feeling good, if you like good vibes, that's what you're
Yes.
gonna get.
Yes.
So,
Period. You said it
I'm
better than
feeling
me.
it.
I love that.
I love that. I love that. So when you really and last couple of things I want to ask you is when you're really in the process of creating this next piece of music, as you talk about, you just dropped your EP, you just have so many great things that you put out, but it's just the beginning. There's a
Yeah.
lot more to come for you. So what is that next step for you? What are you working on? What can people expect as they are tuning in, as they're following that you are working on now for your music?
As far as music, it's definitely we're trying to confirm the next single. So that's literally we're on the drawing boards trying to figure out what song should be next. It's a little hard. I think we're at like 3 that we're going back and forth trying to choose. Um, so that's that. Then after that, we definitely want to just drop the whole EP and then have a huge EP release party. I had a video release party for the Bitches is Lit video, but for the EP, I definitely want to do like something cool. So people could come literally listen to the EP, tweet about it, Instagram it, post it. So that's like the next thing I'm working on. Literally finalizing what songs are going to be on the EP, choosing the single, and then EP release party.
Okay then. Okay then. So the last thing I want to ask you is it's actually a two-part question of
Okay.
one is where can people follow you, but then
Yep.
also when people go to follow you, like that elevator pitch of Kidear Yeomans, this is who I am. Give us that. What is it they are going to expect that should make them want to follow you, be a fan, support you, join that incredible supportive fan group that you have of family and friends to continue to follow with your music. So share with them what they're going to get, a little teaser, of course, of what they're getting anytime they follow, whether it's your music or your social media, whatever it may be, and then also those links where they can check you out.
Yeah, so definitely. So my music is definitely going to be utilized on @Kidear. So you can find me on Instagram @Kidear, Kidear. Then Kidear Yeomans is the Kidear Yeomans brand. So it's more like you can find the wardrobe stuff. You can find my boutique, online boutique there, some Kidear Yeomans pieces. But when you click onto @Kidear's page, you're definitely going to get fashion I'm like super in love with clothes. I started off as a wardrobe stylist. I'm still wardrobing. So you're definitely going to get an insight of me dressing up, attending events. I'm putting out more content coming soon with me being in a studio. So you'll get some behind the scenes stuff. You'll get some sneak peeks into some new tracks. Lifestyle. So since you know I make club bangers, I'm usually out turning up. So you're definitely going to see me and my friends like lit, going out for drinks, brunching. You just get a whole bunch of, I think it's like a lifestyle when you follow Academia. You get a bit of everything.
Yes. Okay. Is this a piece that you're wearing right now from your fashion line?
So
Is
you
this
know
what I'm
what's
seeing?
funny is, I'm glad you asked. So this is a custom piece from my designer High Maintenance, but we are collabing on a jacket line together. So that's an exclusive. So it will be coming out top of the year. We're gonna display a whole Fashion Week show during Fashion Week. But yeah, so you'll be able to cop one of these Kidear Yeoman's X High Maintenance jackets coming soon.
I had to make you big on that one so people could see the full jacket because first
Yes.
of all, let me just say a Kidear Yeoman's like as you were just saying that, it's giving me like Chanel, Kidear Yeoman's,
Ooh.
Gucci, like it's giving me
Yes.
those like it just kind of flows. First
It
of all, my
kind of
name's all
flows, right?
plain Jane Renee Washington, like that's not a clothing line. Your name already is a clothing line where you can just say, "Hey, catch your Kidear Yeoman's leather jacket,"
Jacket,
and
right? No, it's so funny. I actually really like my last name. I feel like is really dope. Like when I be saying like Hermes, yo man, so I'm like,
It's
okay,
like yo, like yo,
right,
man, like it is.
right.
I
Thank you.
already picked up on that. I was thinking it. I was waiting until you said it before I said it out loud because I didn't want to sound stupid. But your
Yes,
whole name is a vibe in itself,
thank you. Okay, shout out to the parents.
right? Thank you, parents. But no, it really has been a pleasure having you on. I am so excited to see what's next for you. I didn't even know as much about your fashion line. That you were rocking it, a sneak peek of it. So you're
Yes.
promoting that as well. But before you go, I do actually want to ask about that then too. What is your fashion line all about? Share people as they follow Kidear Yeoman's page versus just your at Kidear page. What can they get from your fashion that really separates you? Because again, I'm feeling and seeing. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it here.
Yes.
What
If
is
you
your
check
fashion line all
online right
about?
now, it's like we have like guys t-shirts, sweaters, hoodies, sweatsuits. Female, the line is so much bigger. And it's definitely more fun, vibrant colors, neons, pink, um bondage dresses, and I don't know, it's a whirlwind of clothes for an extremely decent price. You can probably get like a bunch of outfits for like $100. So it's definitely shoppable, but still fun. Like you definitely put it on, you still feel the fabric. It's still luxury, but luxury for a reasonable price. When you
And
put it
that
on, you definitely gonna be like, my bitch is lit. Oh my.
yeah, okay. And you said the magic word, reasonable price. Now you're
Yes.
talking my language.
Okay.
Fashion does not have
I'll
to be
definitely
expensive
send you
and
some
break the
stuff.
bank.
Yes.
You know
I'll definitely
what?
send you some stuff.
That is all I needed to hear. You should have led with that in the beginning. Thank you. If nothing else comes out of
Okay.
this, I would love that. But I really do appreciate you taking time. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that for sure. I really do appreciate you taking time to join us on Beyond the Headlines as we had the chance to hear about all the great things you have going on. I hope everybody checks out your music. Bitches is lit. Follows you on social media. Checks out your fashion line because it is evident that there is nothing but greatness coming from you. I can feel it
Oh,
oozing
thank
through the
you.
screen.
I can
And we've known
hug
each
you through the
other,
screen. You so
right? We've known
sweet.
each other a whole hour now. I'm like feeling
Right.
it. I'm like, I feel like we're family. I feel like we've known each other
Okay.
forever, clearly. And I'm excited to see what's next for you. So thank you so much. Don't forget about us little people when you
Oh,
make it and
never. We
you on
vibing. We
Fashion
friends
Week.
now, girl.
I love it. Thank you, Kidear.
See you guys.
And definitely be sure to give Kidear a follow. His handles are on the page here. You can check out Kidear's fashion line at Kidear Yeomans, and then check out Kidear's work with his music, with his entertainment, with just the vibe, as you can get a sense of, which is definitely lit at Kidear. So before we wrap up here, because look, it's Monday Night Football, and the Eagles are playing the Cowboys. I haven't even looked yet to see the score. I'm nervous. But we definitely want to get into just some sports headlines and topics that have been going on this past week. So before we wrap up, we've got to get into a little bit of the sports wrap with Jemiah Kyle joining the show.
What's up? It's Microphone Rocky, and here's our host, Renee Washington, with our sports wrap covering news, updates, and everything else you need to know around the league.
Jemiah Kyle. Now, for those of you that are tuning in, the Beyond the Headlines team is growing. We have Rocky, who you heard just saying the voiceover for that. We've got Bijan, who created some of these great graphics and images that you're seeing. We've got incredibly talented professionals that are a part of the team, and you are seeing one of them right here on your screen, in Jemiah Kyle. And Jemiah, you are going to be sharing with us some of the major sports headlines that are going on around this week in the NFL, WNBA, and NBA. So I'm excited to hear about that.
Thank you, Renee. I appreciate it. We're going to start with the NFL. We have Christian McCaffrey, his hamstring injury. We all know that he got hurt, but this will not keep him out the entire season. This will only keep him out a couple weeks at max, they mentioned. This also will not put McCaffrey in an injured reserve position. Next, we're going to talk about the Rams and the Buccaneers. Let's not forget that the Buccaneers were the 2021 champions. Also, they are the first team to win a Super Bowl championship on their own home field. Sources mention that the Buccaneers are not showing why they were the 2021 champions and how the Rams made more of a statement to Tampa than Tampa did to them. Next, we have the WNBA. Let's start with Sylvia Fowles. She has now been named the 2021 Kia WNBA Defensive Player of the Year. Fowles now joins Tamika Catchings, 5-time award winner. Both of these ladies is the only two in the league both of these ladies are the only two in the league that has this award who has won more than 4 of these within overall in the whole league. Next, we have Seattle Storm. Sue Bird mentions that she does not know if Sunday's loss to the Phoenix Mercury will be her last career game. Sue Bird mentions that in the first game, Sue Bird says, this is the first time where I'm really going to have to sit back, see how I feel, weigh some things out. I know for sure that I want to let the emotion of the season die down. I don't want to make some emotional decision, Bird says. As a result, she has completed her 18th season within the WNBA, also at Seattle Storm, where she has been drafted in 2002 from UConn. Next, we have the NBA. Diving into media week, the New Orleans Pelicans says that they are staying hopeful that Zion Williamson is able to play in the season opener while he is recovering from his summertime workout injury. Coach Green says the timeline is that we are hopeful that he can start the season. Until then, it's just progression and with him and the medical team. And that is all that we have for the sports updates with Beyond Headlines.
Thank you, Jemiah. I appreciate it. And, for you, which of these headlines do you feel like really kind of I'm going to put you on the spot here. Which has you most excited or nervous or surprised? Which of these headlines really had you jumping off the screen?
I would say the WNBA because Sylvia Fowles has definitely worked her tail off the entire season. From the first time I started watching her when she entered the WNBA until now, she has definitely stood out and she's definitely following the path of Tamika Catchings. And just to receive that award, I know she is more than happy. And I hope she knows that her work has definitely been paying off.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think she's just done a tremendous job in Minnesota. It's a shame watching that game. Somebody had to lose, unfortunately, but Sylvia Fowles as a veteran, as a leader, as someone that's quote unquote older in her career to still be getting major awards like this, it definitely says a lot about just kind of her grind and her work. And that, and then even as we talk about the old ladies in the WNBA, so to speak, Sue Bird, that was sad. I mean, it didn't even register to me at first as they were losing, because I didn't want the Mercury to win. But when they lost, it hit me like, oh, shoot, this might be it. We might not see Sue Bird again. So it was bittersweet because, again, somebody's got to win. And it could be Diana Taurasi on the other side. I mean, she's older now, too. They've been teammates and friends forever, going back to UConn. So it hit me like some of these players that we're watching now, this could be it for them. So
definitely.
I agree. Shout out to the WNBA. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I did read up that not Diana Taurasi, but Sue Bird will be 41 in October. And it's just you don't see that within the NBA. They retire quite early on. I feel like you like maybe like 35-ish. I don't see too many 41-year-olds, still playing the game of basketball in the NBA. So that's definitely a hats off to her for sure.
Yeah, she's doing a lot of things for women's basketball. I mean, obviously winning her 5th gold medal, her and Diana Taurasi, and then just being at her age 41, like you're saying, in the NBA, WNBA. Look, even the NFL, we're finally seeing it with Tom Brady being in his 40s. We're seeing the age is increasing for the ceiling of when players are able to still compete. And I'm happy that the WNBA is right in that category and conversation too. So shout out to the WNBA for some incredible playoff basketball. And I'm looking forward to those games that are going to be tipping off tomorrow night. But thank you so much for the update. I appreciate you for sharing with us. It's been an incredible week around the NFL. Definitely been some surprises. Which of these games, before we head out of here, which of these games had you most surprised, seeing like the result or just kind of seeing how it played out?
Overall in the NFL?
Yeah, because I know there's many more we did not include.
Yeah, I would definitely say it was the Buccaneers versus the Rams, because I was looking forward to the Buccaneers winning due to them being the champions. But they don't always hold that weight. So I don't know. I don't really know how to feel, who would make it to the championship this year. Also, like the Browns, they're doing great this season. Starting off, they came out the gate really tough, even though they lost to, I want to say, the Kansas Chiefs. I would get that from them, but they came out the gate very strong and show, why they want to get back to where they was last year.
Absolutely. No, I agree. I think that Tampa Bay game was a big one. I think it really solidified the Rams as a top team in the league right now, because there were some question marks coming in. Of course, they have on both sides of the ball with players like Higgins, Kupp, Stafford, and then you have Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. I mean, obviously Sean McVay is a great coach. That this is a team that's kind of showing, hey, look, we're right here with the rest of them. We're going to be a team that we just knocked off a Super Bowl champion in Tampa Bay, and you have to keep an eye out for us. And then, as you're mentioning, looking at the Browns, they actually have surprised me a little bit. It was nice seeing OBJ back there, Odell Beckham Jr. coming back off his ACL. And they're a team that kind of has stunk it up at times and found ways to lose and been discouraging for Browns fans. So they're now coming off of that loss to the Chiefs a couple weeks back to get a really, really clean, dominant win over the Bears is huge. So, I agree.
They're coming up.
I am excited to see how it continues. Week 4 does kick off, as you were sharing, Jemiah, in your incredible graphic you created with the Jaguars-Bengals Thursday night, and we'll see how things continue across the NFL. Of course, everybody tune into the WNBA, show the women some love, because playoff games in round 1 and 2 were awesome. We had overtime, we had down the wire finishes, we had it all. So now that they're getting into no longer having single game eliminations for the semifinals, I imagine it's only going to pick up in intensity. And then the NBA, of course, Media Day was interesting, to say the least, between all the discussion around COVID and vaccinations and personal things going on. We'll see what happens this year. It's going to be interesting for sure, because we're not out of things yet with COVID. But I thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington. We had Jemiah Kyle bringing us the sports updates from around the NFL, NBA, WNBA. We had Kidear Yeomans on earlier for our featured artist of the week, sharing about his music career. And as always, be sure to follow us across all social media, all platforms. We're everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, to keep up with all the show's new episodes each and every week. So for myself, Renee Washington, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And I look forward to seeing you actually back Tuesday night, as we have another live episode coming your way. So we'll see you then. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. See ya.
Bye.
Only on Beyond the Headlines. This is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines. This is Beyond the Headlines.